Welcome to SidebookVR YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about a game called Iron Rebellion. Iron Rebellion is a robot pilot simulation game in the Western style. Other words, a MacWarrior style mech genre game, unlike Gundam, that is familiar to Asian countries, in which the robot is a stand-in for a giant person. Mechs in mech genre game are heavy armored vehicles replacing tanks. Currently, there are few mech games in the Quest's game library. Among the few, the most well-made would be Vox Machine. However, the mechs in that game feel like you strapped weapons onto a heavy construction machine rather than a tank. It is an acquired taste even for a niche game genre. Vox Machine, although it has a multiplayer mode, is a single-player oriented game. Iron Rebellion, by comparison, provides multiplayer deathmatch gameplay only. So, it is the Onward or Pavlov of mech genre games. World of Mech would be a more casual gameplay stand-in among the current Quest offerings. Iron Rebellion has Quest and PC VR versions. It feels like a more authentic MacWarrior game with many fun VR elements implemented. Control-wise, the developers did more than just porting over gamepad controls to VR. They implemented VR-specific control features such as using your VR hand to respawn the mech or pulling a lever to activate the mech repair feature. These added VR interaction features aren't game changers, but does spice up an old game genre a bit. Graphics-wise, Iron Rebellion looks good for a Quest game, and the overall design is tight. On the other hand, designs are a bit too much on the cliché MechWarrior side, which can be a negative to some. Gameplay-wise, I'm not a veteran of this genre, so it's hard to explain in detail. But the mech handles nicely without being too light on depth. It does make taking out a mech for a spin and getting slaughtered by bots or other players a pleasant experience. The biggest problem with Iron Rebellion is that it is currently in early access and that the game is multiplayer focused. As of 2023, I can't help but feel that the development is taking too long. It has been in early access for almost 2 years. Objectively, it is understandable that game development takes time. However, it is also true that an extended early access period for a multiplayer game is not great. It is enough time for the early adapters to have moved on and leaving the community barren. Multiplayer games with almost no marketing budgets need that starting community to be strong at launch. This may be more serious with Iron Rebellion because AI bot function has been added only recently. So, it was extremely difficult to play this game throughout the entirety of the early access period. And now only the hardcore faithful remain. So, where is Iron Rebellion now? Most of the main skeleton of the game is completed, and now the developers are focusing on adding content. It looks like the developers are going for a 2023 full release of the game. We will have to wait and see how the full launch goes compared to World of Mechs, which seemed to sink right out of the gate. In conclusion, the game itself is good enough to encourage genre fans to buy the game. However, in the VR gaming world, multiplayer games have market size limitations. In addition, mech games are a niche among a niche. The future of Iron Rebellion as a multiplayer-focused game is still unclear. Personally, I enjoy taking my mech out for a spin every once in a while and get killed by bots. Really, the gameplay feels very tight and enjoyable. So, it is a worthwhile purchase. What will you do?